one. Okay, we're live.
All right, Mike, one of you.
All right, I was just getting started. I'm watching people get in. We'll give it just a few more seconds as people jump on in. All righty, welcome everyone. We have something special for you today. My name is Mike Pooley. I run customer marketing for IT Glue and Kaseya, and I'm happy to invite our customers. This is something we do on a regular basis. We want to make sure our MSP partners are exposed to some great experts, get some great learning. And we've been working with Robin quite a bit, and I think she has some very topical information that can really help you with your business. So I will exit and cut to the chase and hand it over to Robin to go through our topics today. So Robin, over to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mike. And also on with me is my Chief Marketing Officer, Mike Stadola. So he's going to be here with us, just kind of answering questions in the background. So just to get, because we still have people who are coming in, some people still connecting. In the chat, could you guys just post where you are right now? Or are you, I want to see if this is an international crowd. I want to see where you're listening in from right now. As I sit here, I'm in Franklin, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Nashville. It is a beautiful day right now. I mean, it's a gorgeous day. Okay, so we got someone from Canada, Melbourne. Ooh, it's going quick there. Looks like we've got Melbourne Beach, Florida. See, I thought it was like Australia, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Scottsdale, Montreal. Love my Canadians. Look at you representing. Love it. Virginia Beach. All right. Anybody else international? Maybe it's just going to be the US and Canada, our neighbors to the north. Bakersfield. All right. Very cool. Downers Grove. That's where my husband's from. Downers Grove. Nice. All right, guys. Appreciate that. We're going to just give it a couple more seconds as everybody's piling in. What we're going to be talking about today, I think, is going to be a huge, huge game changer for everybody. We're going to be talking about how do you set up autopilot marketing systems so that you're consistently getting 1 to 2 new managed services clients every single month. And I'm going to promise even more, you're going to do it with less work than you're currently doing, with consistency, taking the guesswork out of it by setting up systems and processes and things that work. So I am going to give you some of my best content. This is game changing for a lot of you. Another just quick question as we're still waiting for people to pile in. I'm just curious if there's anybody out there, this might be the first time that you've heard me speak or sat on a webinar or whatever. So if it's the first time that we've ever had an opportunity to meet, even if it's virtual, you know, post that there. I'm curious to see that. And then what I'll do here is I'm going to share my screen and we're gonna get to it. I know time is of the essence. Let me see here. Mike Stadola. So I have to say who it is on each one, right? Well, there's somebody there from Long Island. All right, cool. First time. Look at that. See, I like to think I'm more famous than that. Okay. A very fragile ego. You know, I need a lot of reassurance. Okay, Mike, that's not funny. Don't laugh at that. Okay, you're still on camera. You can't laugh at me when you're like. If you're gonna laugh at me,
I will give the camera back so that we take up less space. There we go.
Right. Very cool. All right, so everybody can see my screen. I hope. If you can't, let me know. I'm going to kind of monitor the chat a little bit. I want to start out by telling you a very, very interesting story, and it kind of sets the table for everything that we're going to talk about today. The Washington Post did a rather interesting social experiment, and they did this several years ago, and they were doing it to demonstrate how outward appearances and perceptions really impact the value that we put on things. And what they did is they asked one of the world's most accomplished musicians, Joshua Bell, and they asked him to go and play in a subway station in DC during rush hour. And as you can see, that's Joshua Bell, and the picture on the left is him in the subway station, and the picture of him on the right is him actually at Boston Symphony Hall where he had a sold out performance at Boston Symphony Hall for, I think it was $150 per ticket. So he's a very accomplished musician, very well known, very popular. But they asked him to go into the Washington, D.C. metro station and play for about 45 minutes. He actually is playing on a violin that is a very rare Stradivarius violin. It's worth $3.5 million. But when he was playing in the subway station, he didn't have any signs. He didn't say, I'm Joshua Bell, and this is a $3.5 million violin. He just stood there and played. Now, in front of him, he put a little cup, like a lot of street performers do, to try and get a little bit of money. And so for 45 minutes during rush hour in a Metro Washington, D.C. station with thousands of people on their way to and from work, he played some classical music pieces. Now, here's what I want you to guess, all right? And you can put this in the chat. How much money do you think Joshua Bell got in that 45 minutes with thousands of people walking by, one of the world's most accomplished violinists playing a $3.5 million violin? I'm curious, how much money do you think he got? Now, this is the same guy that sold out Boston Symphony Hall at an average ticket of $150 a seat, okay? So I'm seeing $30, $50, $40, all right. The exact amount of money is $32.17. So some cheap bastard actually kind of put pennies in that little cup. You think about it, it's just crazy. $32.17. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because whether you like it or not, nobody knows how good you are before the sale. Until they buy, they only know how good your marketing is. So Joshua Bell that was the same product that was being promoted in Boston Symphony Hall. The same exact person, the same exact violin, the same exact music. What was the difference? It was the marketing that was surrounding him. It was what we were telling people about this. And again, whether you like it or not, you can be the best IT provider that's out there. You can have brilliant services. You can care about your customers. You can always do the right thing. You could provide extreme value. But if your marketing is failing, people are not going to value your services. And given no other logical reason upon which to base their decision, prospects are always going to default to paying on price or buying on price and making their decisions based on price. And I'm sure a lot of you, if you've been in business for a couple of days even, and you've been out there trying to sell IT services and support, you know, one of the things you get pushback on all the time is, we're fine, we don't need that, I don't want to spend that kind of money. So I want to give you 3 quick promises for this webinar today that I'm going to show you. One is I'm going to show you why most MSP marketing is a giant unproductive time, waste of time and money, and the only type of marketing that you should be doing if you want more and better quality clients. Just as important, how to use marketing to position yourself as a credible authority, pre-selling and predisposing a prospect to buy from you regardless of price. And one of the things I will prove to you on this webinar, on this session, is if you are getting a lot of fee resistance, if you're not getting an influx of new customers, and if selling is hard, selling is difficult, and you have to, you know, you feel like prospects don't listen to you, don't take their advice, they go dark, they fight you over what your recommendations are, I'm going to submit to you that your marketing is flawed. Yeah, your sales process probably needs a little work, but probably your marketing is flawed, because that's how they're getting to you. That's what they're getting to know you by. And most important, I'm going to show you how to set up autopilot marketing systems that will deliver a steady stream of motivated, qualified prospects who are ready to buy. And I'm going to show you how to do it in the most efficient way possible. I am going to submit to you that all of you are working way harder than you need to get customers. You're spending more time than you need to. You're wasting your marketing dollars. And I'm going to show you how to fix that in the next hour or so that we have together. So if you have questions or comments, please post it in the Q&A. And at the end of this presentation, provided Mike is kind and gives me the time, you can wear me out with those questions then. All right. Now, I just learned that a whole bunch of you have never heard of me before. So it is, I think it is upon me to, or important for me to kind of give everybody a very brief overview of who I am. And honestly, you know, what basis do I have? What right do I have to be sitting here on a webinar, taking up an hour of your time and telling you how to do marketing in your business. So one of the things I want you to know about me is I'm not a flash in the pan person who's just come on the scene. I have been working with MSPs, VARs, IT service companies since 2001. And since that time, we have worked with well over 10,000 MSPs and IT service firms. They've enrolled in one or more of my programs, in one of my events, in one of my memberships. So I have a lot of practical experience over the years. I've seen the birth of MSP. In fact, one of the first programs I created was with Kaseya. It was our managed services blueprint. And this was when Kaseya was just getting started and Gerald Blackie was the CEO. So I've got a long history as well with Kaseya. And if you look at it by any measure, clients revenue retention, we're the largest and most successful marketing firm in the IT channel. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm telling you that because my programs work. And if people didn't see value, if people didn't think they worked, if they weren't getting a return on investment, then obviously we wouldn't have a lot of clients or as many as we do. We also run the largest peer group in the MSP industry. We have right now 1,253 that's actually going up rapidly. We have over 5,600 active clients. And the peer groups are important because the peer groups are where specifically we have MSPs that are meeting on a weekly and quarterly basis in person, weekly on webinars, on meetings, quarterly in events. And this is where my market research happens because these are MSPs that are implementing the marketing we're giving them. They're going out into the marketplace, they're implementing it, and they're pulsing back to us. Here's what's working, here's what's not working, here's a new idea, here's a new concept. And so I'm not an ivory tower consultant. Every day I spend in the trenches with my customers. As I'm recording this, we've got an event going on. I'm going to head back over there where we've got about 70, 80 MSPs, and I'm spending the day working with them on real marketing challenges, real marketing problems. And again, that's where I'm getting the basis for what I'm going to share with you. And the thing that I am most proud of is that we have more documented client success stories than any other sales or marketing consultant in this industry, period. And again, I don't share this with you to brag because who cares? But I think it's important that you understand that what I'm going to share with you is not based on theory. It's not based on BS. It's actually based on in the trenches, 2 decades of working with MSPs in what works, documenting it, looking at the numbers, testing, refining, and building out new systems. And more specifically, I know you're going to say, okay, well, what results exactly? And what type of MSPs do you work with? So to give you an example, like David Javahari, who's with Direct IT, in 12 months, he's an MSP, he's based up in Boston. He's been in business since I think 2004. Right now, David's about a 5 million and growing MSP. He wasn't 5 million when he came to us. He actually was more like 1 or 2 million. So he's rapidly growing. But in the last 12 months, implementing what I'm going to share with you on the webinar, he has his revenues up 1.3 million, MRR up 150,000 per month, net profits up 11,000%. And that's important because you can buy market share by getting cheap clients and lowering your prices. So one of the things that I coach my clients on is not just get more clients, but better quality clients at higher profit margins. And if your marketing's not doing that, it's failing you because it shouldn't just get you more clients, it should get those better ones at higher profit margins. Now, to show you that I don't just work with a slightly larger MSPs, I got Brian and Mary Hamilton. They're about a $1.6 million a year MSP. And in the last 12 months, their revenues were up $985,000. So you got to understand, when they first came to me, they were well under $1 million in revenue. MRR is up 101,000, net profit up 1,800%. David Anderson from BizTech Solutions, he's out in Inland Empire, California. He is about a $2 million a year MSP. His revenues up 732,000 in the last 12 months. MRR is up 58,000 and net profit up 972%. Roland Parker from Impress Computers. He's in Houston, Texas. And he's a really interesting guy because he came over from South Africa, started this business with no relationship. He is like, doesn't know anybody. He doesn't, he's an immigrant. So he started he goes to Texas. he sets up with his wife, with his family, and he starts this IT company. And the last 12 months working with us, revenue's up 1.1 million, MRR up 40,000. He's net profits up 219%. And then if you want a really small MSP example and say, well, does it work with the really small startups? Scott Hodges-Odigan came to me in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of 2020, and he was a brand new startup MSP. And in the last 12 months, being a startup has generated 1.3 million in revenue. MRR is up 54,000 and net profit up 312,000. So I share with you these stories, not to brag, but to share with you what is possible. I have MSPs in my membership that are well over 10 million, 15 million in revenue. I've got some brand new startups like Scott here. And I'm going to tell you the systems that I'm going to share with you today are the exact campaigns, the systems, the strategies they used to get these kind of results. And that's what I'm going to share with you. So I've got one request, and that is to check your skepticisms at the door. And I'll say virtual door, because they will be there for you to pick up on your way out. All right, so real quick, I want to just check in. Mike, is there any questions, anything I need to address, cover, questions, thoughts?
No, we're in good shape. Yeah, we got a lot of people on and ready to go.
Okay. So there's three primary reasons MSPs fail in marketing, and specifically with new client acquisition. And let me also frame this presentation that marketing is not just about generating leads and new clients. It's a lot more than that. But because we have a very limited time, and I know most of you want to get new clients, I'm going to focus just on that. So there's three primary reasons why MSPs struggle with marketing, don't get the quality or quantity of clients they want. And as I go through this, some of this is going to probably resonate with you. And obviously, these are the things that you want to fix to start getting that lead flow coming in. And the first big problem is they use what I call the vulture marketing plan. And the vulture marketing plan is where you wait for something to die in front of you, like a network, right? Someone's network dies in front of them and they happen to call you, and then you go jump on the carcass with all the other vultures or the other MSPs fighting over whatever scraps of business that are left. And I know a lot of you will say, if I poll everybody on this, I've done a lot of industry polls, most of you are just waiting for the referrals to come in. You don't even have a system or process. So let me tell you something about referrals. First of all, there's not a single truly successful MSP that I know that relies solely on referrals for growth. So they're either hiring salespeople, they're doing marketing. So while referrals are fantastic and you definitely want systems to fuel them, I don't know of a single successful MSP that says, you know what, we just kind of wait for referrals to come in and that's how we got to 10 million. I don't know of a single one. Maybe you know one, you can introduce me to them, but most of them are doing multiple things. They've got marketing plans, they've got salespeople, they are going to market to get those customers. And so if you look at this is a survey we did of 1,700 MSPs, 1,736 MSPs to be specific, right? And we asked them on average, how many new sales appointments do you go a month with really good qualified prospects? And as you can see, 38% said less than one per month, very closely followed with 1 to 2 per month. So 75% of our industry is going on less than 1 to 2 appointments per month with a really good qualified prospect. Now, obviously, that's not good, and it's not good because you're not going to grow. But this is, let me share with you why this is a bigger problem than you think. The first thing is that when you're not going on a lot of sales appointments, you are horribly ineffective at closing sales because you don't get sufficient practice. So it's not uncommon for MSPs to close less than 10% of the opportunities they get in front of. Now, I'm not talking about that warm handoff of a referral, that should be 100% close rate. I'm talking about leads that you might generate from social media or pay-per-click or SEO marketing or from direct mail or trade shows or whatever. The close rate is less than 10%. It's just because you can't get good at something if you don't do it. The second thing that becomes a big problem is because you're not good at selling and you're not good at building value and you're not good at differentiating yourself from all the other MSPs that they're getting quotes from, you end up either selling on price or you default to that because you don't have sales and marketing systems in place, again, to differentiate you and to justify your fees, which that's not good, because then that eats into your profit margins. You then can't hire confidently new techs and invest in new technology. And that's because you can't trust your sales and marketing pipeline to bring you the clients you need. So you desperately need another engineer, you need another tech, but you can't hire them because the minute you do, your profits tank and you don't know when the next customer's coming in the door. So you're either like feast or famine, and you're painting yourself in a corner and you're in a no growth cycle. Then you become desperate. And anybody who shows up who can fog a mirror and wave a dollar, you're taking them as a customer, and you're saying, all right, we'll carve this out of our contract. Yeah, we'll lower the price. We'll do these things. And you start taking on these really, really crappy clients that you should say no to. And that takes up more precious resources, more precious time. It frustrates you. It frustrates your staff. And then what's even really bad about this is if you lose a client to an aggressive competitor, to a merger and acquisition, to something like the pandemic, if you lose that revenue, you do not have a quick way of replacing that income. So the number one reason why most MSPs don't grow is obviously they don't have a marketing plan in place. They're just waiting for something to happen. And this is why I've been doing this for 20 years. Again, I keep saying that. And I've had MSPs come to me, and they're in their 50s, they're in their 60s. Sometimes they want to retire, they want to get out of the business, and they can't have a successful exit. They're still in debt. They don't have money saved for retirement, and nobody wants to buy their crappy little break fix business with 2 or 3 managed services clients. And so they're stuck, and you can't go back in time and fix this. So now is the time to fix it. If you're going to do it, you got to do it. And that's what I'm going to show you after, we're still going to go on problem number 2 and 3, but I'm going to show you how to fix that with systems and processes. The second reason your marketing is not working, if you're doing any marketing at all, is that your ads, your websites, your postcards, your social media posts, whatever it is that you're doing, is you're asking a prospect to take a leap of trust too far. So you're sending out some type of marketing, whatever it is, and the marketing is then saying, here's our phone number, here's what we do, call us and get ready to buy. All right. And instead, what you want to do is lead generation marketing. And what lead generation marketing is, it's a process of getting generating interest in a product or service by first promoting some kind of free information, like a free webinar, like what you're on, right? So you're promoting some kind of free information, free report, ebook, checklist, industry reports, surveys, whatever it is, something that your ideal prospect will find of value, for the sole purpose of getting them to move towards you, to opt in, to allow you to email market to them, to give you permission to sell. And I'm going to show you some examples in a minute, so hang tight with me. But first, let me show you an example of what doesn't work. So this is an example of an ad that was failing, and it says, liberate your laptop, a single source solution provider for all your technical requirements. And then it's got a list of, we do antivirus software, anti-spyware, computer diagnostics, computer hardware installation. You get the list, right? So this is like a restaurant advertising. All the ingredients they put in their food, so we have tomatoes, and we've got ground beef, and we've got cheese, and it's just an oversized business card. And the one of the big problems with this is, who is this for? Who are we trying to attract? Here's something worth writing down. Your website, your marketing needs to articulate who should be responding to the ad, who you do business with. On your website, is it abundantly clear who the customer is you're serving? From this, I can't tell, is it home users? I would guess it might be home users. Is it small business? Is it medical? Is it enterprise? I have no idea. I also don't know exactly what you're selling, because it says liberate your laptop, and then in 7-point invisible, it's got a list of things that you sell. But what are you actually selling? Are you selling the software, antivirus software? I don't know of very many small business owners who go out there and shop for each of these, the firewall, the data recovery, and go shopping and install it themselves. So you're advertising the stuff, but you're not advertising the solution. And you've heard before people say people don't want to buy drill bits, they want to buy the whole, right? So you got to sell the end result, but I can't tell from this what exactly you're selling. Also, why the hell should I care? I don't even know what liberate my laptop means. And who else can say this? Pretty much every single competitor in your marketplace. What conclusion do you want me to draw? It says liberate your laptop. Here's the services. What conclusion am I supposed to come to? And more specifically, what action am I supposed to take? Where am I supposed to go? And you can see down in the bottom at 2-point invisible is their website and a phone number and stuff like that. But that is a big, giant leap. I see your ad. I've noticed your ad. And you're asking me to like find the phone number, get up my magnifying glass, find the phone number and call your office, but I don't even know what I'm buying. I don't know who it's for. And I'm almost assured to talk to a salesperson who I really don't want to talk to. So I have no idea how to respond to this ad. There's no differentiation either. So if I already have an IT company and somebody who's already outsourcing to another IT company is your best prospect, you know that because somebody who's already spending money on managed services, they're going to want to spend, they're showing through demonstration, they'll spend money on managed services. You get somebody who's never bought it before, and to them, it seems like one big giant expense, right? So if I'm trying to knock out an incumbent, my ad should also differentiate me. Why should I hire you over the guy I have now, or the 20, 30, 50, 100 other MSPs that are a Google search away? And how do I know you'll actually do a good job and not disappoint me like the guy was a dum-dum and disappointing me now? And if I am interested, how do I get more information without talking to a sales rep? Because I guarantee you this right now. So for example, we'll use this webinar. If Mike or Kaseya said, hey, Robin does marketing for MSPs, she's email marketing, here's her phone number to call and talk to a salesperson, I guarantee you we would not have gotten anywhere near the click-through rate or response than if we said, hey, let's promote a free webinar and get people on that and warm them up, right? So let me show you another example. This is a marketing fail on a website. It says amazing customer support. It does say complete IT services. We might know what it is. I think we know what it is, but what is it exactly? So what are you selling? I mean, if you look at this picture, even of itself, if they are targeting small business owners, which I'm a small business owner, I don't have anything in my office that looks like that, this big mainframe computer system. So I don't know what they're selling. If they're trying to sell to small business owners or even a mid-sized business owner, that doesn't make any, and I don't know what complete IT services, that's like saying we do complete medical. Well, are you a dentist? Are you a chiropractor? Are you a heart surgeon? I mean, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. Who is this for? Who else can say this? It says amazing customer support, but is it backed up anywhere? Is it verified in any way? Amazing customer support in what way? Can you prove it? Why should I call? I'm really kind of nervous about clicking on get started. What does that mean, get started? Does that mean it's going to download something? Is it going to take me to a shopping cart? What's going to happen? I'm a little afraid to click that button. And what action do I take if I don't have an immediate need and I come to this site and I'm not quite ready to talk to a salesperson? There's nothing for me to do because it says, up in the top in really small type, get free estimate, but an estimate of what? Or talk to an expert, about what? I have no idea. Let me show you another one. Certitech Solutions, dedicated to giving its customers valuable, cost-effective turnkey solutions, right? Again, what are they selling? If we didn't know this was an IT company, how would you know what is valuable, cost-effective turnkey solutions? And well, I would hope so, right? I mean, who's going to advertise saying that we have, really expensive, very complicated, piece by piece solutions, right? Nobody's going to advertise that. Everybody else can say that. So, who else can and will say that? This is like a restaurant advertising. When you leave a restaurant, you will be less hungry than when you came in, right? So it doesn't work. So in summary, these campaigns fail because they're vague and confusing. They're rife with platitudes. We're proactive. Some of them don't even have platitudes. They just say who they are, but with zero differentiation, they fail to identify who they are trying to appeal to. That's a critical piece of marketing. They lack a compelling low risk offer and they hit on no hot buttons. There's no hot buttons. When people come to seek you out, guys, there's a reason for it. Let me ask you all, and I want you to play along here in the chat, okay? Think about the last prospect you talked to. What was the problem they were having when they called your office, when they were referred to you? What was the problem they were having? And if they had a current IT company, why were they firing them and talking to you? So let's see. I want you guys to put it in the chat, right? I know this is going to take a minute, but I really want to understand poor quality. So poor quality, I'm guessing, of service. So poor quality. Let's see what else. Why did the last IT company that you knocked out, why did they get knocked out? What were they doing? What was your prospect, now customer, hopefully, what were they frustrated with? Right? I'm not seeing a lot. Are we not doing a lot of marketing here? Okay, couldn't pass cybersecurity checklist. Non-responsive, their slow response time, lack of communication, couldn't get help with their mail migration, so they couldn't do the job, but slow response time. Their IT company outgrew them, or maybe they outgrew their IT company. I hear that sometimes. They can't help them with the problems they have. What was the prospect's frustration? Slow customer service or response time. Okay, so here's what I can tell you after doing this. The number one reason why why a customer will fire their current IT company is slow response time, poor customer service, not fixing things right. So I have the same problem. It comes up again and again and again, and you can't fix it and it won't go away. And I'm getting frustrated, right? They just get, so we understand that, right? So those are considered the hot buttons, right? And if we all know, we just did a survey, guys, look at that. That's market research in the chat right there. If we know that that's what customers out there who are looking for a new IT company are looking for, if we know that's what they're frustrated with, what they're annoyed by, and what they want new out of their new IT company, shouldn't your marketing talk about that? But it doesn't. So let me give you an example. This is Brian and Mary Hamilton, one of the case studies I showed early on. This is their website. It says, stop settling for unresponsive, incompetent IT service companies. We're rebelling against the typical IT stereotypes by delivering fast, hyper-responsive IT services and support to small businesses at a price they can afford. Nailed it, right away. I know who we're selling to. It hits on every hot button. None of these platitudes like liberate your laptop, which nobody can understand what the hell that is. Here's a post from Impress Computer. Fed up with constant IT problems. Stop tolerating bad service from your current IT company. Calls for a free diagnosis of any IT related problem. That's the offer. Here's another example. This is the bad date letter, we call it. This letter, just so you know, people hate direct mail. They say it doesn't work. And that's just because they don't know how to do it. This campaign has sold millions of dollars in managed services, and it doesn't even use the term managed services in it. In fact, I have one client who generated over $6 million, and I mean million with a capital M, $6 million using this direct mail sales letter. And the headline reads, is your current IT company treating you like a bad date, not returning your calls, never available when you need them, constantly failing to meet deadlines, not fixing things right, never following up on your requests? See, the prospect looks at that and says, you know what? That's right. And then the letter goes on to promote it. So this is the kind of message your marketing needs to promise, not platitudes, not vague generalities, not these not platitudes. This is the kind of marketing you want to do. So again, just to summarize, the first reason MSPs fail at marketing, they're not doing anything. They're doing the vulture marketing plan. The second reason they fail is their messages are inept. They're basically not hitting on hot buttons. They're not using offers, and they're asking that prospect to take a leap too far. The third reason that MSPs fail in marketing is they just do random acts and pot shots. So if you're my age, some of you might remember the game show, The Price is Right. My mother had it on every day at noon. That Price is Right came on, and my mother watched it religiously. And there's a game called the Plinko game. And the way you play the Plinko game is you win these chips, and you stand at the top of this little pegboard. Down at the bottom, there's a couple slots. Some of them have money in, some have bankruptcy, some have zero. So you're like, the contestant stands up there and they kind of look down and they release the little Plinko chip, and it pings down, and they hope it lands in money. but sometimes it lands in bankruptcy, sometimes it lands in zero. And it's really, this is how most MSPs do marketing. It's random acts and hope. They try this for a little bit, then they try this. And then when that doesn't work, they go to the next person who shows up and sells them pay-per-click advertising, or the next shiny penny. Oh, well, let's hire this SEO company. Well, let's hire this telemarketing company who's going to call and get us appointments. Let's try that for a while. So they hop around like a grasshopper with hemorrhoids, trying this, trying that, trying this, trying this, pot shots, random acts, no systems, no process, writing checks all along the way and having nothing to show for it, not getting ahead in any way. So the kind of marketing you want to do is what I call a marketing oil well. And a marketing oil well is a process-driven campaign that you can rinse and repeat using the same way and get the same results within an acceptable range of variance. All right. So, and it can be, by the way, it can be in any media. It can be in your blog, your email and blog posts. There are systems and processes to correct ways to do that. It could be with direct mail marketing. It could be going to trade shows. It could be doing canvassing. It could be doing telemarketing. And by the way, I teach my members all of these. We don't just do one type of media and advertising. I'm a big proponent of multimedia, multi-channel marketing, all right? But the key concept of an oil well is you get it down to an SOP, a standard operating procedure, and you rinse and repeat that marketing process, and you tweak it a little bit to make it better, to make it better, to make it better, but you're not waking up every morning going, well, what should we do today to bring in customers? Even referral campaigns need to be to a process. How do you ask for referrals? How do you reward the referral? How do you follow up on the referral? If somebody gives you a referral, what do you do? What do you go back and ask them for a second one, a third one, a fourth one? How do you reward them? If somebody doesn't give you a referral, what do you do? What's the process? And even MSPs who say that's their sole only way of getting customers, if I quiz them a little bit, usually they have no idea how they're generating them, how they're following up. It's the Wild West. It's free range chicken. We just kind of, whatever happens, happens. And this is why you're wasting so much time and money on marketing, because you're just doing these pot shots and failed attempts. So I'll show you another example of a letter. Again, this is a direct mail letter, and it's not just a direct mail letter. This is a marketing prospecting process that we use to get prospects that we know fit our exact criteria of who we want as a customer. And that's actually one of the reasons I like direct mail with phone follow-up. That's one of the oil wells we run, because if you don't have a prospect's email and you don't have permission to email them yet because they have not opted in, how do you communicate with them? Well, you can run ads and hope that they see it. You could run a billboard and hope they drive by. You could be doing SEO and hope they're searching. But if they're not driving by, if they're not on social media, that's a lot left up to chance, right? So if I can build a list, if I know my sweet spot prospect is a small business owner with 10 to like 70 computers that outsources their IT, that doesn't have an IT person on staff, that is in a PC environment, that is, in one of these dozen industries, if I know that's who my sweet spot most likely to buy prospect is, I can go get that list. I don't have to wait for them to show up. I can go build that list with a mailing address, a phone number. I know I can research. I can get who the CEO is. I can know whether or not they have an IT person. I can know how much in revenue. I can know how many employees. I can pull that list and I can mail them and call them in a sequence, not only using mail and phone calls, but also using social media, because when you build that list, you can connect with them on LinkedIn. You can create a custom audience. If you have their email address, you can't email them unless they give you permission, but we can upload that and target people on social media, on Facebook. We can do that on LinkedIn. We could do canvassing, right? So this is an example from Roland Parker. And again, everybody's ears flop over when I talk about direct mail. Well, Roland has been doing this marketing oil well of this specific campaign we call the aspirin campaign. He started sending it out at the end of 2020. He's been sending about 120 letters per week. He's got one salesperson who's calling, and in the process has added close to 2,000 highly qualified prospects to their list and their drip marketing, which is also this big pipeline of opportunities. And has added 15 new clients, 37,790 in new MRR, 1.6 million in contract value. And this is a marketing oil well he's been running for nearly 2 years. He's not recreating the wheel. He doesn't wake up and say, what kind of marketing should we do today? He rinses and repeats and rinses and repeats and rinses and repeats. It's the same system. It's the same process. It's the same everything. So he's getting great efficiency because this thing just cranks and brings in customers. Brian and Mary Hamilton, I was using them as a case study earlier. They have a system, a process for doing seminars. So they don't, a lot of people, they do one seminar, whether it works, doesn't work, they never repeat it again. The last seminar they did, they had 65 attendees, 70% were prospects. They secured from this 2 news TV interview spots from news networks, which is going to give them great PR. They sold 11,000 in new MRR and $150,000 in project work. And one attendee that they're still following up with was the CIO of a $700 million a year company, unhappy with their current provider. And this is this rinse and repeat seminar that they're doing at least once a quarter. If they can do more, sometimes they do them, 2 per quarter. It's a rinse and repeat marketing oil well. How they promote it, how they conduct it, how they get the list, everything is a system. It's a process. This is David Javahari. David Javahari is the other case study I showed you. This is a campaign, a follow-up campaign to a list of unconverted leads who said they're not happy with their current IT provider, but didn't want to switch yet because they thought switching IT companies is too painful, it's too much work, and they just didn't want to go for it. So we created a marketing oil well, a system of process that involved postcards, email, and a salesperson following up. We targeted 50 plus user prospects, so a very targeted list. We offered a 90-day money back guarantee. So he was saying, look, switch to me as your IT company. I'll take the risk away. 90 days, your fault, no fault. If we really fall down and screw things up and you think we're a bad company, you can cancel your contract and we'll give you back the managed services that you paid for. And out of this, he generated 30 new MRR clients that brought in $85,000 in new MRR and $200,000 in project work. No refunds. This is a marketing oil well. Then there's Tom Glover, Response Technology Partners. Tom has got a marketing oil well for sponsoring trade shows and events. And he targets the targets like golf outings or other networking events or trade shows where he knows CEOs and CIOs are going to be attending. And he offers doing a comprehensive 360 vulnerability assessment. That is his offer. He typically generates about 10 to 12 really good leads from every single trade show or event he does. And he has a 67% close rate with an average contract value of $21,000 when he does this. So all he has to do is look for the next event, the next trade show, the next golf outing, and he rinses and repeats the booth, the process, what you say when you come up to the booth, the offer that's in the booth, how they do the assessment, how they follow up. It is all a marketing oil well. It's a system and it's a process. It's not random acts. Once you nail it down, then you just go find another trade show, another event that you go to. I'll show you one more, QBRs. Will Nobles is a long-term client of mine. He's also a client coach. He runs a company called Vector Choice. Vector Choice is about a $10 million a year MSP. His team, I say he, but it's really his team, do QBRs with every managed client per quarter. And he has it completely 100% automated in the marketing automation platform we've built for him, where every quarter on a timing, the emails go out to the client and say, hey, it's time for us to book your QBR. And you can see here's a link to my calendar. So an email goes out, it's 100% automated. If the client clicks on the link and books it automatically, it books on his calendar. There's no back and forth. It's all automated. If they don't click and they don't book, another email goes out in a couple days and the same process happens. If they don't call, if they don't click on that, there's a third email that goes out, says, hey, it's time to book your QBR. If they don't, then on the fourth step is a phone call is made, and he is getting 100% compliance with his clients, but he doesn't have to call everyone and book the appointment. All that is manual labor. That is all erased from this process. So it happens like clockwork. 100% of the appointments are automated out of the CRM. And in the last 12 months, he averages $11,342 in brand new MRR every single month with his 178 clients, which is $136,000 in new MRR he's adding every single month. Okay, so this is an example of a type of marketing oil well, right? So when we go back and we say, why aren't you succeeding in marketing? And then you say, well, what kind of marketing should you be doing? We've already kind of touched on this, but I want to really drive it home. So when you are doing any kind of marketing, there's 5 things that you want to make sure your marketing accomplishes. Number 1, it should be attracting right fit prospects to you. So in other words, it shouldn't be you scraping or begging or pleading or hoping those leads come in. The marketing should be doing the job of making the phone ring, making them fill in the form, and attracting them to you. It should be accountable to measurable results like leads and sales and MRR, because you can't take branding or awareness to the bank. It should also position you as a trusted, authoritative expert, not the Maytag repair guy, which we sell antivirus software and hardware. That's the Maytag repair guy. So you become the obvious choice regardless of price. It should also be media agnostic, whoever you're getting advice from, because if you go to a marketing agency and they're a Facebook marketing agency, guess what they're going to sell you? Facebook ads. If you go to an SEO company, guess what they're going to sell you? SEO. Now, I'm not saying they're bad people, but sometimes the media, they get myopic on the media, and you really want multi-channel marketing, multimedia marketing. And if you go to one or the other, then you're going to get kind of in one lane. And number 5, it should be based on consistent systems, marketing oil wells. So the only kind of marketing that hits on all 5 of these is a marketing that I call educational direct response. I call it EDR for short. Okay. And the philosophy of educational direct response marketing is we use educational pieces, free reports, ebooks, webinars, videos, those kinds of things. We use these educational pieces that we put out in the market. We promote that to get our ideal prospect to reach out to us. And by reading an educational piece, they become a better customer, because my philosophy is, if you're really good at what you do, an educated prospect should be your best prospect. So this is an example of a campaign I just did for one of my clients, Charles Swihart, down in Sugar Land, Texas. And he was getting beat up from some cheaper IT companies and MSPs in his area. And he said he was really frustrated because he says, you know, some of these guys are leaving a bunch of stuff out of their bid to make it look cheaper where we're including it all. So we created a marketing piece, and this goes out before he meets with them. This is going to go on his website. This is in the marketing campaign. So we're educating that prospect before he even sits down to try to sell. And you can see these are the 5 ways cheaper price IT firms hide their true cost of services in their contracts. And what we're doing now is we're getting ahead of that objection, and we're differentiating him from the competition, making the competition who's cheaper actually look like shysters, because they're leaving these things out to appear cheaper when they really should be including them. All right. So let me give you an overview when you use educational direct response marketing, how that works to bring you these pre-sold prospects. All right. So we, in my company, we teach members to do all kinds of marketing, not just direct mail, not just telemarketing, not just digital, not just SEO, but all of it, from pay-per-click advertising, strategic joint ventures, trade shows, networking events, do seminars. As you saw from the examples, they were all different kinds of marketing campaigns and oil wells that we give our customers. And so when we put that out there, we have what's called a lead generation offer that our target customer is going to find of interest. So some examples of offers are things like free reports and buyer's guides, white papers, industry surveys and polls, videos, webinars, checklist guides, ebooks, printed self-published books, audits or assessments. You can do a free trial, dark web scans, cyber assessments, or competitive bids. All right. So my members are putting these offers out in the marketplace, where, you know, download our ebook, like our Sitting Duck, Why Your Business is a Cyber Criminal's Ideal Target and How to Fix It. You know, the dark web is overflowing with your CEO's credentials. Are yours there too? So we use these offers to get people to come to us and see us as an expert. So let's say, for example, we are doing IT support. Let's say our strategy, our oil well, is search engine optimization, okay? So we do things like, you can see this is Impress Computers. It's my friend Roland Parker. He's got 457 Google reviews. He comes up at the top if you search IT support Katy, Texas, which is where he is. Now, when we go to his website, you don't see platitudes. What you see is IT services for Houston engineering, construction, and manufacturing businesses, which is his target audience. So right away, I know who he does work for. Frustrated with the lack of responsiveness and slow service from your current IT company? Give us a call today for immediate support. And there's the free report, which is educational direct response. 21 critical questions you should ask any IT company before signing a contract or hiring them. So the free report's compelling because if I'm searching for IT support, I don't know who to call, and I'm looking and I'm in my information gathering process. And that's why this marketing works, because we align with the curiosity. They're already looking, what do I look for? What do I ask? It provides also a non-threatening way for someone to get more information without talking to a sales rep, because they can download it right away. And it provides permission to now email that prospect once they download that report. Now, at this stage, they're what we call a raw lead. And that lead should flow into some sort of marketing automation platform so that the content is instantly delivered to them on the next page. And it educates the prospect on what their buying options are, what they should look for. And by the way, it will answer frequently asked questions, overcome objections, provide case studies, and then sell the next step of meeting with you. But here's what's really important. Because you are the one publishing a report saying this is what you ought to ask any IT company, you become the authoritative expert. You become more than just a sales rep trying to sell IT. Now you become a trusted advisor that is educating the marketplace. If you're going to get IT support, here's what you need to look for. Now, what's really important is after that opt-in comes in, it's flowing into a CRM system. And you can see here, this is what we call one of our marketing automation platform plans. And you can see there's going to be a series of, they opt in, they're going to then be presented with a calendar. Can you book an appointment? There's going to be follow-up emails. There's going to be follow-up phone calls to try and book that appointment, and it's instantly done. And that marketing automation platform should instantly deliver the content, should automatically capture and track that lead. It should instantly offer to book an appointment. It should instantly notify you, hey, this lead came in, and kind of like an open ticket. It keeps it as an open lead until somebody follows up and it's either appointment is booked or it's marked not qualified or something happens. It's automatically, your system should automatically create a task for your marketing team to look at. Say, is this a qualified lead? Is it missing information? Is it the CEO or is it the IT director? Let's look them up online and let's append information to see who we're dealing with. Is this a 100-person company or a 10-person company? What do they do? So your marketing team can get all that data online and then instantly start sending emails to follow up and attempt to book that phone consultation. And this should happen automatically by a CRM system, a marketing automation platform. Because if you leave it up to you, you're going to get busy, you're going to get forgetful, or a human being, it's just like tickets coming into your system for IT support. If you don't have a place where it's captured and followed up on and tracked, then imagine trying to run a managed services business with people just random emails coming in or phone calls coming in with people needing support and no way of capturing and tracking those tickets. That's what's going on in your marketing. And that's why you're missing out on so many opportunities. Now, if that lead's qualified, we're going to mark it as a marketing qualified lead, and we're going to be pursued to book a phone consultation to where we're going to see if it's a sales qualified lead. And once the marketing, if we determine it is a sales qualified lead, and this is somebody we want to talk to, the next step, we book that appointment, we send out what I call my sales secret weapon. Now we call it a shock and awe box. And what a shock and awe box is a package of materials. I wish I had one in my office here. I should look around. Maybe I can find one. It's a package of materials that you are sending out in advance of your meeting with that prospect. And it has things like, here's why we're different. Responsive and reliable IT support. This is Will Noble's. You can see what makes us unique down here in the bottom corner. 15 ways to protect your business from a cyber attack, and it kind of outlines their process for how they make sure their customers are protected from a cyber attack. What you're seeing up here in the upper right corner is their core values, and it shows here's the things that they include in their program that other people don't. There's also a big testimonial book up here. And that video up there is a video of Will Nobles, who's the CEO and founder, saying, we appreciate you. We're looking forward to meeting you. Here's some information about my company. And we don't call it a shock and awe to the prospect. We say, here's some pre-meeting materials to answer questions. Now, this thing pre-sells and pre-qualifies that prospect, and it differentiates you from every other IT company in your area. Of course, then we use a scripted sales process to make sure that bad boy closes. And then we do ongoing marketing, QBRs, client development campaigns. But what's really important is here's where you get involved, because all the other things that we're doing up to that point can be completely 100% automated, locked into a system, a process where an admin can run it, not you, not a high-paid salesperson. So the objective for your marketing is not to just generate leads and prospects by whatever means possible, but the correct objective is to bring in that pre-sold prospect, predetermined to buy only from you, regardless of price. And that's what I keep saying. If you are struggling with price objections and you don't have prospects coming to you pre-sold, then your marketing is flawed. All right, Mike, real quick, I'm going to take a breather. How are we doing?
We're doing good. I don't see a lot of questions. Everyone's just taking everything in.
Okay. All right. We will keep going. I know we're close to our time, so because I want to get into where you start. Okay, because you're sitting there, if you like what you're hearing, you go, okay, what's the first thing I need to do? And there are component parts to an EDR marketing system for new client acquisition. Like I showed you, you can put marketing for existing clients, referrals, and so forth on the same process and system. But for new clients, the first thing you're going to need is a very clearly defined target market. You got to know exactly who in your marketplace is your most likely buyer. And then you need market research, because you can't just say, well, we want to go after every business with 10 to 100 computers. Well, great. Well, you know, how many of them are there? Who's out there? See, most people don't even know. So you have to define your market, but you got to do competitive market analysis. You got to know what other competitors are there. You got to know what they're offering. You got to know how you rank. If you don't know that information, you're flying blind. The second thing you need is a compelling marketing message. When you show up, why should a prospective customer buy from you versus every other IT company, and particularly the one they've got right now? Because you show up and say, we do IT, and they're going to go, great, I already got somebody who does that. And maybe they're not great, but I don't think you're that much different. So I'm not going to leave them and go through a painful process of switching IT companies if I really don't believe that you are exponentially better than the guy I've got right now. If you look the same, I'm not going to go through the pain of switching and possibly paying more and getting worse service, because your marketing is not giving me that assurance. The third thing you're going to need are irresistible lead generation offers to attract your prospect to you, so you're not chasing them down. And that way, when they are pursuing you, you get to prescribe, meaning, you know, you have permission to sell, versus you trying to bang on the door, get them to pay attention to you, and you're an annoying pest rather than a welcome guest. The fourth thing, you need strategically crafted marketing content, reports, videos, webinars, and so forth, that, first of all, that people actually want to read, they want to watch, they want to consume, and that will actually influence them to buy from you. So that you have to have that. You also need a marketing automation system that's going to organize, track, and automate the process. And you need a strategic media plan, because you got to know, how am I going to get my message and offers to my right fit prospects in the most direct and cost-effective way possible. So these are all the things that you need. All right. Now, before we wrap up, I want to give you one more key. I want to give you one more key to success. All right. Because after doing this for a long time, the challenge that when most of you see this, you might think this is great, but you might fall short of actually taking action. So I want to give you a little motivational speech, if you will. I want to give you, it's a little sidebar, but you know, it's an important lesson. And I would tell you that this lesson has everything to do, more to do with you making money, with you being successful than anything else that I've shared with you today. All right. And it's based on the book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, if you're not familiar with the book, it was written, I think over 100 years ago. I'll have to like fact check me on that. And it was written by a man named Napoleon Hill, who was sponsored by Andrew Carnegie, who was the America's first billionaire. And Andrew Carnegie sponsored him to go around and study the wealthiest, most successful people in business at the time. And this book, with no marketing, no advertising, is still on the bestseller book. I mean, you think about it, Napoleon Hill died years ago, but this book is still popular because the advice that's in it on how to be wealthy and successful as an entrepreneur, as an MSP, is 100% relevant to you. So I want to share with you, there's like 17 characteristics in the book. I don't have time to get into those, but I do want to share with you 3. And the first thing that we have got to do, the first thing that you need in order to succeed in marketing, is that you've got to have a burning desire. So like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years, 10,000 MSPs. And what I have discovered is most MSPs that are out there, and I think it's 79% of the MSPs that we have polled, and we've got 90,000 in our CRM, 79% never break the $1 million mark. Even though IT is booming, even though the industry's growing 18, 20%, doesn't matter. They are still stagnant and broke. And the reason is because they don't act like sales-driven entrepreneurs. They act like techs with helpers. And so if you want to grow your business, you've got to get out of that mindset of being like a tech with helpers. Because what happens when you talk to most MSPs and you poll them, every industry poll will show this. What's the number one challenge you have in your business? And they all say the same thing. They say it's marketing. And then you say, well, why don't you have a better marketing plan in place? And you know what they do? They give the 2 universal excuses everybody gives. It's, I don't have the, and I know you're saying time, and I don't have the money, right? Time and money, 2 universal excuses everybody uses. And the reality is, if you don't have that burning desire, as Hill talked about, to grow your business, to be successful in business, you're never going to get around to marketing, because you're never going to have enough time, and you're never going to have enough money, because the money's not just going to show up. It doesn't fall from the sky. And time is, you make time for what's important to you. It's as simple as that. So you've got to have that burning desire to get this implemented. Number 2, you need specialized knowledge. When you decided to start a business, being good technically is only one of the skills you need. When you're an entrepreneur, you need to know how to do marketing. How do you do lead generation? You have to know how to do sales. You have to know how to properly price things. You have to learn how to hire and manage people. Marketing is another one of those specialized knowledge that you absolutely need. And when people ask me, where do I start with marketing? The first thing I say to them is, you got to have an education. You got to invest in yourself in order to grow your business. So you need that specialized knowledge. And the third thing you need to do is be decisive, because here's the other thing I see. I go to seminars all the time. I'm going to be in Connect in a couple of weeks here. And, I'll see somebody say, Robin, I saw your presentation years ago and I was going to get after the marketing. But then, I said to myself, well, I got all this new tech. I have this new cybersecurity solution I'm going to be putting in place. And I really, really, really need to get that in place right now. And, once I get that all sorted out and the operations in place and in order, then I'm going to go after the marketing, right? I really get serious, but I got to fix the operations first. And then when they kind of get that fixed, then the next thing they need is a new engineer. And they say, well, I'm going to wait till I hire another engineer, because if I start doing marketing, I'm going to need more engineers, and we're already overwhelmed. We got a lot of project work right now, so I'm going to hire an engineer. And then I promise you, I'm going to be serious about marketing. And then it's the summertime, and you got to go on vacation, because the wife's going to kill me if we don't. We planned this vacation forever, so we're going to go on vacation. And then we're going to get really serious about marketing. I promise you, we're going to get really, really good at it. But then other people in your office are going on vacation because it's summertime. So you say, okay, I'm going to wait till the summer's over, wait till everybody's back in the office. And then, man, watch out, because I'm going to be on fire. I'm going to be doing the marketing like you've never seen before. And then, you get the big project from a client. Well, you got to do that first. And then the holidays come around, and you can't do marketing around the holidays because nobody's responding. So we're going to wait till the new year. And then we're really going to get after it. You just watch, you just wait and see, Robin. We're going to be on fire. We're going to be doing all the marketing. And then the new year comes, and you got to wait a couple of weeks because people just get back from the holidays. You can't hit them with marketing. And it just goes on and on and on, and they never get anything implemented. And all the ideas that I just gave you today, all the strategies, I have systems, I have processes, I know they work. All the ideas I just shared with you are going to end up in what I call your good idea graveyard. It's where all the notes from the seminar, all the ideas go to die. And that's because you either don't have that burning desire, you don't have the specialized knowledge, and you're not decisive. You're going to keep kicking that can around the road, not doing marketing. And the reality is there are three big problems standing in your way. So we can't ignore the fact that, number one, a lot of you don't know where to start because you've never, I mean, I'm going through this really fast. And so, you know, you got to go back, you got to really know where specifically should I start? Is it with target market? Is it an offer? Do I start on my website? So you need to have that step-by-step plan. And the other thing that is going to be, it's going to stop everybody in your tracks is you guys are not professional writers. And so you don't know how to write the websites and the free reports and the PowerPoint slides. And by the way, and Mike, I know Kasey is sponsoring this, and you'll forgive me. I haven't seen your marketing, but you'll forgive me when I say a lot of the vendor marketing that they give you is not really written to really influence. It's kind of like product slicks and stuff. Writing marketing communications that influence and persuade, like the ones I was showing you, that is a very, very specific skill, and you're going to need that as well. That's going to be another big stumbling block. And number three, you don't have a lot of time and money to figure out how to make this work. Okay, so I have a shortcut for all of you, a shortcut that I know is going to work. It's if you're looking and you're saying to yourself, you know what, I really want to get after this. I don't want to be indecisive. I don't want everything to be, I don't want to be, I'm tired of procrastinating. Then what I would like to offer all of you is our toolkit program. So the toolkit is basically the most proven, well-researched, field tested marketing system in a box for MSPs. And really what it is, it's made up of three components. But this program is going to be for you if you have honest ambition and you want to grow a profitable business. You don't want to be just that tech with helpers. You know you're leaving a lot of money on the table, and you're a serious entrepreneur who wants to implement a marketing system. You're not just looking for a quick hack. And there's three component parts. It is, first of all, it's a step-by-step blueprint on how to be strategic instead of tactical with your marketing. So how do you pick a lucrative target market and build a list? How do you differentiate from all the other IT firms out there? I actually teach 10 ways, all right? So there's multiple ways you can do it. I'm going to teach you how to do that, how to set up a high converting website, how to get 5-star Google reviews like my friend Roland Parker with nearly 500, how to set up lead generation marketing oil wells and systems and fuel referrals and get strategic JV partners and create a marketing budget and use social media correctly. And how do you build a marketing team? Who do you hire? When do you hire? How do you get those responsive email lists? And how do you set up the marketing systems that I just showed you, and much, much more. So the first component is all the how-to sessions, step by step. How do you do those things? The second component are the actual templates. This is what makes it really easy for you to implement. So websites and email campaigns and blog posts and the free report templates, all the examples that I showed you, list building strategies, referral campaigns, LinkedIn, direct mail, telemarketing campaigns, trade show marketing oil wells, webinars, newsletters, canvassing, social media, and you name it. So we're giving you all the templates done. Just fill in the blank. If you can cut and paste, you can make this work. And then the third component is support. So we've got a member portal. We've got a dedicated customer success team. We've got monthly Q&A calls, monthly campaigns, peer blueprints, tickets to our annual member event, and our roadshow. So the support comes from our private members only portal. So after you enroll in the toolkit, you're going to log in. And from there, you're going to get access to all of these marketing campaigns. This is like, think about like it's a Google search engine for MSP marketing oil wells and campaigns and templates. That's what this is. And included in here, just to get you rolling quickly, we have our quick start guide to fast cash, and it's a 30-day fast start to instant sales. And what we're going to give you in there is the easiest, most successful money-making campaigns that I have ever done. There's going to be 4 of them. They're all ready to go with checklist, templates, scripts. Everything is mapped out for you. And just triggering these campaigns alone could get you 10 times your investment back within the first 30 days. That would be my goal. I can't promise that, but that's my goal. The other thing we're going to give you is this huge library of what we call how-to peer blueprints. And this is where we interview our most successful members on, how they added 15,000 in new MRR, or how, like Charles Swihart, he fired 90% of his clients and replaced them over a 3-year period and generated millions of dollars in sales because they were all cheap, horrible customers. So those are the kind of peer blueprints on how to package and price your services, how to fire your cheap clients and replace them with better ones, how to fuel referrals like crazy, how to sell co-managed IT, and we add new ones every single month. The other thing we do is a marketing deep dive, and we show you things like how to set up a high converting website, how to use webinars to sell, how to nail the first meeting with a new prospect every time, how to build that hyper responsive email list, social media marketing done right, not just taking pictures of your food and posting it up and saying that it's done, new prospecting and lead generation campaigns. There's actually over 100 different sessions on all kinds of marketing. So no matter what you're doing, pay per click, to social media, to direct mail, to telemarketing, we have blueprints, we have systems and processes for you. Then we're going to give you 2 tickets to our roadshow. This year, we're visiting 6 cities, and we're focusing on how to sell compliance as a service. In fact, Compliance Manager, one of the Kaseya products, they are even sponsoring it. And this is going to be a fantastic roadshow. We're also going to give you the appointment generating miracle. And this is, if you ever thought about hiring an appointment setter, somebody to cold call, book appointments, I'm going to give you the exact blueprint on the job ad, how to compensate them, their scorecard, the scripts, the process. I have an ROI calculator. Here's what it's going to cost you. Here's the exact way to do it in your business. So when you get ready to do that, that is completely turnkey. I'm also going to give you the templates to use a shock and awe box in your business. So all the templates, all the how-to, the details. I'm also going to give you an MSP sales playbook. We are doing a 2-day deep dive on how to close a managed services deal at the highest price possible with the least amount of resistance. You're going to get that entire MSP playbook for free. And I want you to keep in mind, this program doesn't require any experience. If you can cut and paste, it works with it. And it's based on 20 years of in the trenches with testing with thousands of MSPs, and it works. So just to summarize, you get the toolkit, the library, the deep dive sessions, the quick start, the appointment generating miracle, the roadshow. We give you boot camp tickets. I didn't even mention that, to our big annual event, shock and all templates, plus instant support, access to the portal. This is a $12,000 package. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say that's a lot of money, Robin. I'm a smaller MSP, 12,000 is like kind of a lot, okay? But I believe on selling on value. And so I'm going to teach you this by doing this and showing you. So let's think about this. If we helped you get 2 more appointments per month, 2, not 12, just 2, that's 24 appointments in a year. If you only close half, say 12 new clients, and your average client's worth $1,200 or $1,000 per month. By the way, my clients, their average is $1,800. But let's say it's only worth $1,000. 12 clients at $1,000 per month is $144,000 in new monthly recurring revenue. So when you look at that investment, it doesn't seem like all that difficult. Mike, I mean, what do you think? Is that kind of like ridiculous, or do you think, what do you guys think? Is that 12,000 too much? I feel like I'm on an island.
Depends on which Mike.
Oh, right. Well, both of you.
I think if I'm looking at an investment and I'm going to get that kind of a return, it makes sense.
I mean, this is like, if you can't do that with everything I'm giving you, all the tools, the templates, the support, please don't buy it, because you're so screwed up, there's no help for you. That's a very unchristian thing to say. All right, pray for me. All right, wait. So here's what we're gonna do. It's not $12,000. We have 2 membership options. The first one is $297 a month if you want 24-month membership, or $397 if you want to go for the 12-month. But the one special I'm doing today is you're not going to spend that. Your first month is only going to be $1. You can choose either one. And the way that you enroll is you go to toolkitlive.com/connect. And Mike, one of the mics, if you would, please put that URL up there. So we are doing this as a special deal just for you on this webinar today. And I'm even going to give you, I'm going to go even further than that. I'm going to give you 3 more big bonuses. The first thing I'm going to give you is we did a program to show you how to get a 7-figure earning MSP. And I've actually mapped it out with the financials and clients and the marketing plan to how do you grow an MSP so it's a 7-figure earning MSP. And that is going to be included. I did it in a workshop with a workbook, and you're going to get that for free. The other thing I'm going to do is 2 live webinars coming up, and I'll review your website. I'll review any marketing campaign you want to submit on those webinars, and I'm going to do that for free as part of this program. So if you have a website you don't like and you're trying to figure it out, or you have a campaign that's just not performing, it could be a telemarketing script, I'm going to get on this with you live and I'm going to review it with you. The other thing I'm going to give for only those doing the 24-month option is I'm giving you a free market analysis. So remember I said you have to pick a target market. We're going to take that and we're going to do that market research for you. That is a $1,500 value. We charge that. We literally charge that. And I'm going to give it to you for free, but only if you choose the 24-month option. So to get instant access, you go to toolkitlive.com/connect. Your first month is $1. All right. I mean, what more can I say? It's simple and easy, but I am going to take that offer down. So that offer is not going to be up forever. I have to talk to the other Mike from Kaseya, because I want to leave it up enough for people to some people to watch this on demand. But the other thing is you're not getting the slides. I saw people I'm not giving the slides away because you're going to copy the copyrighted campaigns. You don't get the slides. If you enroll, I will give you the slides. I'll do better than give you the slides. I'll give you the templates. That's what you need to do though. You got to go to toolkitlive.com/connect, and your first month is $1. All right. So that's all I've got, guys. I know let me see what time it is. We're a little over time here. I thought it was a 90-minute webinar, so I thought I was doing great until I think someone said it was an hour. But anyway, what questions do we have? Any questions, Mike?
Yeah, we have a question. And for others that have questions, if you throw them into the Q&A, it's just easier for us to track. But I don't know who it is in chat. It just gives me initials. SM asked, what is the success rate of the membership? It'd be great to know how many succeed in using the membership successfully.
I don't have an actual... I honestly don't have that number, because we would have to track it, and we're not tracking that specifically. The other thing you have to define is, what does success mean? So success means different things for different people, right? So I've had people come to me and say, I finally figured out how to package and price my services. So it's not necessarily that they added 12 customers or 15 customers or 20 customers, but they'll tell me, I feel like I finally have a packaging and pricing solution that I didn't have before, right? Some people come to me and they'll say, I've had people say, you know what, I only generated, 12 leads from this campaign, and they feel that that's a failure. So I'm not trying to avoid the question. It's a great question. It's a question, honestly, I should be more diligent on getting an answer to. But one, you got to be able to define success, and that's different for everybody. Here's what I will tell you. Here's one way I can look at it. Over the years, we know if somebody is not getting results because they'll complain, right? I mean, they come back and they say it's a complaint, and I can tell you it's roughly about 6%. 6%. So I can tell you about 6% come back and say, you know what, this thing's not working for me, and they're grumpy about it. And of course we work with them, we coach them, but it's roughly about 6% because we do monitor that. So maybe that gives you a better answer, that 94% of people are seeing value, getting results, whatever results there are. I just don't have an exact answer to that, because I honestly have not tracked that specifically. we have, I mean, yeah, and it's because it's 20 years. I should have done a better draft. I mean, we get case studies. You go to my website, I think there's close to 400 case studies. So, I mean, it's not just like one or two people getting results.
Okay.
Let's see, what else?
Yeah, so his name was Scott. He followed up with great job. Thanks for the great info, and he's looking forward to getting started. And he just he's looking forward to get a clear sales proposition and narrow down to his optimal customer. And I said, thanks for allowing me to challenge you with that question.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's fine. That question's fine.
Yeah, we had another question, Robin. Do they get access to everything right away, or do they have to wait to get access as the months kind of come on?
No, it's like it says on the slide, you get instant access to everything the minute you opt in. And what I would recommend though, guys, when you opt in, like my customer success team is going to reach out to you, and they're going to get you onboarded. They're going to get you in the dashboard. I mean, immediately when you enroll, an email is going to kick out to you within 10 minutes or so with a login to create your username and password. You can add your employees. So another benefit is you don't just have to have you in here. If you have a sales and marketing team, let them come in. We've got a member queue that allows you to post up questions and get answers from me, from my whole marketing team, from we call them residents and experts and residents, and those are our client coaches. And it's, I mean, our queue is everything from marketing, but we get a lot of business questions about hiring and compensation, about vendors, about how do you deal with this situation. There's a lot of people who post on the queue, hey, I need help with this, I need expertise on this, I need boots in the ground. So there's opportunities. That's all in this member portal. That you're going to get instant access to right away.
So Robin, I know we got several people on, our neighbors to the north here in Canada. Our question we get a lot is, does this work outside of the US?
Oh yeah, I mean, like again, if you go to and where more of them are on the website technologymarketingtoolkit.com. Like I can even do that right.
Yeah, I can grab the link if you want. Robin,
yeah, I was going to say, if we go up, I mean, this is our member dashboard, as you can see. But if you go up to, technologymarketingtoolkit.com, you're going to see, you can click on the case studies. The case studies are a little bit more in-depth stories about people who have used this program, and you can read through those. You can also look at the client reviews. There's 393 up there right now. And as you scroll through, you're going to see we've got quite a diverse group of customers. And I know we've got Canadians. I mean, I'm scrolling kind of fast here because we typically will put a flag next to, there you go. So there's someone from the UK, Mark Cronin, very good client, really sharp guy. So you can see that works in the UK. I know we have Canadians. I just have to keep scrolling to find them. But yeah, you go up here and you're going to see these are people. There you go. There's Jim Stackhouse, using two of Robin's strategies that have added more than 12,000 in MR to our business. So, if you go through this, you're going to see different people, different stages of business, startups to larger MSPs, like Anne-Marie, she's over in Hawaii. I've got Todd Clark, who is up in Alaska. We've got, so you can see, started getting into some of the international. I'm not sure what flag that is, though. So
yeah, I don't know, Norway or something, or something like that. Probably got to look it up.
And we need to get his picture fixed, apparently. There's another UK one. There's another Canadian from Ted Shaffrin. There's another Canadian. See, there you go. We just put the Canadians down, in the middle. It's actually not the bottom, it's at the middle. So yeah, you go there, guys. Look, it's overwhelmingly, you can tell that we get results with the program. But go to the URL, the toolkitlive.com/connect, because we do have special bonuses we're giving you, and you get that $1, just the $1 startup. I will leave that up there for, I don't know, should we leave it up 24 hours to give people time to go do that, I guess? But I'm not going to leave that offer open forever, because it is a really, 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 really good discount. And the toolkit's worth more than that. It truly is an amazing program. We put so much work into. I mean, I've showed you the case study, so hopefully that's sufficient.
Yep.
Okay.
So Robin, we got Hugo asking. He said, "Do you have the toolkit in French. 98% of their clients speak French only.
Yeah, Simon and Marie Fontaine, I can't even say the name of their company because it's French. They are clients, they're Producers Club members, and they converted everything to French and they use the campaigns. Now, I don't have a French version, so I'm sure there's an application out there where you could take the template and convert it to French, and there's nuances. So you're gonna have to like tweak them a little bit. But it's not, the letters, you're going to tweak it no matter what, but at least the basis is there, the system, the process is there. If I give you a free report, if you translate it to French, I mean, you're going to go through and revise. You're going to put your logo on it. You're going to might change some of the advice. You're going to put some testimonials in there. But, it's like 90% of the work's done because it's so easy to tweak something that works rather than having to start from scratch and build it. And if you hire somebody to do that, a copywriter, I mean, to write copy, I mean, those copywriters are good ones are very expensive. I mean, the really good ones get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. But amateur ones get paid $10,000, $5,000 to write those things. So you just have to tweak it a little bit. But you're not having to create it from scratch.
Okay, we got, I see one last question. So if you do have other questions, make sure you drop them in there. But Ryan's asking, do you have to commit to either 12 or 24 months right now, or do you have 30 days to try it out, or how's that work?
No, if you got to try it out, if you're, then this isn't for you. I don't want looky-loos, and you'll forgive me. I don't know if this is a situation. I know you could say, well, I got to make sure it's really good. Well, I mean, I've got an abundance of testimonials and case studies to show you that this is a good program. It's proven. We've got a lot of people get results with it. And if what I showed you, made sense, that's what the program is going to teach you how to implement. But one of the things that I don't want is someone who's going to get in there. And we've had people log in and download all the templates and then say, got canceled, I'm out. And then we find they're using all the stuff they downloaded. We've had that happen. So I'm not allowing that. The other thing is, if you're just going to dip your toe in, if you're not sure if you're going to do the marketing, if you're not sure, then don't sign up. Just don't do it, because it's not going to work. So no, we do not offer a 30-day trial. We do not offer a 30-day out. And again, when you think about it, like if you're paying for, if you bought our program, we used to sell it just as a product. So, another way to look at it is, you're going to spend, let's say you do the 1 year, you do $397, times 12, we used to sell the toolkit for over $5,000, the whole program, and you bought it in one lump. And we just found that people like it better if they can just pay it monthly, because it's easier making a monthly payment than it is to pay $5,000-$6,000 for this program in one. So don't let the membership kind of trip you up. Just think of it as like a payment plan. And we just find that people like that better. Some people, they want to pay, some people, pay in full. But if you're unsure, get the 12-month. And then at some point, if you want, you can upgrade it to, you can upgrade to 2 years if you want. We have other programs. We have implementation programs. We have marketing automation. We've got done for you services. So this is just going to be the entry point. And you can expand your membership once you get in there. And I see another thing that popped up. What if I need a couple people to access? On the dashboard, you can add employees of your company. Now, you can't add like all your friends and family that are not employees, because that I've had that bad behavior where people log in, they buy one license and they share it with 5 of their MSP friends. That's not cool. But if you want to add somebody who's your salesperson, your whole team can join. You can add them to the dashboard, and that's not extra. That's all included with the membership. And you can share with them the videos and the templates and the training and the packaging and the pricing and everything else. So I encourage that. And that is included in your membership. All right. How are we doing? Are we good? Everybody else is off camera.
Yeah, no, I think we're in great shape. That was the last question. So like probably a going once, twice sold type of thing here.
Okay. Well, guys, here's the other thing I'll say. Go to toolkitlive.com/connect. But you could also back off that, go to technologymarketingtoolkit.com, call the office. If you want to book a consult and talk to somebody, but that $1 offer, we are only going to leave that up for about 24 hours and then that's going to go away. So you have to get it now, or, you know, it's not now or never, but it's going to be now or retail. So because I want decisive people, I want to reward decisiveness. And one of the characteristics that Hill talked about are people who are decisive. And the problem so many of you have is you keep waiting and procrastinating. I got to think it over. I got to pray about it. I got to, you know, look, it's a guaranteed program. Pray about, I mean, I'm not saying don't pray, but, you know, it kind of frees you up to pray for other things. But be decisive. Get in there, get the program, get started. You're going to have time to implement. It's not like you have to implement it all right now, but get started with this process. You know, start making more money. You're leaving a bunch of money on the table. So I would encourage you to do that. Do it now. Like I said, it's not now or never, but it is now or retail. So with that said, guys, we do have to wrap up. I do have a hard stop now because I got to get back to my other event. And so the two mics, I appreciate you both.
Thanks, Robin, for updating the IT Glue base, and thanks everybody for joining.
Okay, appreciate you all.
All right, bye now.